What's the first thing you do when you wake up? Most people either can't answer that question with confidence, or maybe they're a little embarrassed of the answer. That's because people don't really pay attention to what they do first thing in the morning. They just go on about their day and take on whatever life throws at them. But you can't leave it to chance. You can't afford to let the day design you. You must become the architect of your life. You must build your own experience. You see, every day is a blank slate. Each morning you have an important decision to make. Who are you going to be today? What attitude are you bringing to the table? Because you know, not every day is the same. Plenty of things change from day to day. The weather changes, people change, and more importantly, your opportunities change. Some come and some will go. But here's the good news. You have the final say in how you respond to the day. Your attitude is always your choice, never someone else's. And what about your time and energy? Where are you putting that each day? That's another question that needs answered every morning, because energy is a precious resource. It's like money in the bank. You can invest it wisely, or you can spend it as you get it and have nothing to show for it at the end of the day. Mr. Schoaf taught me all those years ago that what you spend your time and energy on has the biggest impact on your life. It's not the hours you put in, it's what you put in the hours. And I'm telling you, this is what makes the difference between a productive life and a scattered one. But the day doesn't end when the sun dips below the horizon. Not in the successful person's life. That's when the real work begins. You see, the evening is when you decide your day. That's when you get to look back and give yourself an honest review. Did you do what you set out to do? Did you get a little better than you were yesterday, or did you slide backwards? And here's the most important one. Who are you becoming? This seminar is about truth, about honest feedback, something that can be hard to come by nowadays. And if you're really serious, you'll ask yourself, who will I be tomorrow, now that I know what I know from today? And that kind of honest change starts with how you begin your day. If you want to direct your life, you've got to direct your day. You have to get up and do all that before the world tries to direct it for you. The morning isn't for reacting. It's for designing. It's for setting the compass, not just checking the weather. Too many people wake up with their foot caught in the door of yesterday. They're still stuck on yesterday. They need to watch the news to see what happened. They start the day with the weight of the past, dragging it forward like a heavy bag. And then they wonder why they're mentally exhausted by noon, why the day always seems to be ahead of them instead of under their control. Want to take charge of your life? Then that first hour belongs to you, not to the world, not to your job, not to anybody else. If you really want to see what you're capable of, then give yourself that window before the world comes knocking. And you keep that window locked until you set the direction of your day. Before you check your emails or your messages, before you turn on the television, before you let yesterday's worries or someone else's priorities crowd your mind, take a moment. Sit quietly with yourself. Decide, where am I going? What matters most today? What do I want out of this day? And what do I want to put into it? You see, the world is overflowing with distractions, and they're not leaving anytime soon. The phone calls, the headlines, the demands, they'll be there whether you're ready or not. If you let them set your direction, you wind up as a passenger in your own life instead of the driver. And after enough years like that, you can wake up and realize you've been traveling someone else's road all along. That's not what you want. Setting the tone for your morning isn't about ignoring reality. It's about shaping it. It's about taking the wheel and stepping into the role of designer, not just responder. You make the important decisions before you ever walk out the door. That's the secret. Decide your direction, your attitude, your standards before the world decides for you. This takes practice. Some mornings, energy comes easy. Other days, it's a fight just to get moving. That's reality. But here's what never changes. The day will unfold with or without your input. The only thing that puts you in control is the decision you make at the start. When you've set your direction, just for a minute or two, not an hour, you've given yourself a place to return when distractions and pressure try to take over. A morning routine isn't about doing more. It's about doing first things first. It gives you an anchor in a busy world. Even a small pause, a moment of intention, can shape everything that comes after. And when you build this as a habit, it turns into quiet strength, something you can count on no matter what the world throws at you. So tomorrow, before the sun is too high, before the demands begin, before the world asks anything of you, take back your morning. Design your direction. Choose who you are going to be and what you are going to work on and improve before anything else can lay claim to your day. That's your day. But how do you actually do this? What does it really mean to design your morning? The morning is about clarity. It's about knowing what you're building and why this day matters. You know, how is this day going to help you reach your goal? And if you can start the day with just an idea of where it's supposed to go, I'm telling you, you'll be ahead of 97% of the crowd. Start with your long-term goals. Every morning, bring them back into view. Maybe you've got them written down. Maybe you carry them in your mind, but don't let them escape you. Remember what you're building. Remind yourself why you started all of this in the first place. The days are long, yes, but the years are short. It's too easy to get lost in the small stuff. But when you keep the big picture in front of you, even the little tasks start to matter. They take on meaning. And here's what you do next. You set clear goals for the day. What are the priorities? You can't do it all. If you chase too many rabbits, you won't catch any at all. You've got to decide, what are the few actions, maybe the 3 most important, that would make this day a win? Focus on those little wins. Because if you can look back at the end of the day and say, I did what I set out to do, no matter how small, then you've had a good day. Then decide what kind of attitude you're going to have for the day. Here's what most people don't seem to get. Attitude is a choice. And you get to choose before you leave the house, before you answer the phone, before the first issue. You decide how you're going to respond to setbacks. That's how you handle them. You decide how you react to pressure, delays, and more importantly, difficult people. See, if you make those decisions up front, life has a funny way of meeting you halfway. And here's what else you've got to do early. You must define what a good day looks like. Don't be shy for this part. Don't let someone else tell you if your day was good or bad. You set your own standards. Maybe it's getting 2 out of 3 of your goals accomplished. Maybe it's simply keeping your attitude in check for the day. I know that can be hard for some, right? And if you don't like what you see, then you need to change your perception. You got to look at life from a different angle. Reframe the situation. Remember, you get to choose if you have a good day. If you don't wake up and design your day, the world is going to design it for you. And I don't know about you, but I'm probably not that high on the world's list of priorities. So your day must be intentional, not accidental. A designed day might not always go as planned, but at least it's your plan. At least you're the one who set the direction. Think of it this way. If a ship leaves the harbor with no destination, the winds and the waves will decide where it ends up. But if the captain sets the course, Even if there's a storm, even if they have to make adjustments, that ship still has a say in where it lands. So don't be foolish. Don't set sail without a map. Review your goals, set your priorities, choose your attitude, and decide what a good day means for you. Once you've done that, that's when you step into the day as its architect, not its victim. That's how you start directing your day before it ever gets the chance to direct you. But don't forget about the other side of the daily cycle, the evening. There's a certain wisdom that shows up when the day is spent. Your energy's winding down, and the world grows a little quieter. That's not the time to drift into distraction or just numb yourself until it's time to start all over again. No, the evening is for decision making. The evening is where you turn experience into progress. Think about it. The day already gave you all the information you need. The lessons, the wins, the setbacks, the little moments you might have missed if you weren't paying attention. The question is, what are you going to do with that information? That's the work of the evening. It's easy to let your evening slip away. Maybe you tell yourself, I've worked hard, I deserve a little escape. And sure, everyone needs rest. Everyone needs downtime. But before you tune out, take just a few moments to tune in. Ask yourself, what actually happened today? Not what you planned, not what you hoped for. What did you actually do? Where did you follow through? And where did you avoid what you said you'd do? That's the power of honest review. Life will hand you the bill eventually. Better to check the receipt every night than let the interest pile up. In the evening, you get to decide what all that experience is worth. Did you move closer to what matters, or just circle the same patch of ground? Was there even a small step forward, or did the hours just fill up with busyness? You're not after a perfect scorecard, just proof of movement. Sometimes it's an inch, sometimes a mile. But when you measure it and claim it, you keep momentum on your side. And always check both sides of the story. What paid off today? Where did you make progress? Where did you fall short? Don't turn it into drama. Don't punish yourself or sweep it under the rug. Just see it for what it is. Honest reflection is a shortcut to wisdom. Dodge it, and life will teach you the lesson a harder way. Once you've seen what worked and what didn't, the next step is to decide what must change tomorrow. Maybe you need to shift your approach, tune up your expectations, or adjust how you structure your day. Rarely does everything go exactly as planned, and that's normal. The key is to catch the issues while they're still clear. Otherwise, you'll just keep running into the same wall. You can't change what you won't face. Skip that evening review, and the days start to blur. Lessons slip away. You end up repeating yesterday without even realizing it. But if you use your evenings to make new decisions, you get to shape tomorrow with the wisdom you earned today. You become your own best teacher. You catch the lessons while they're still hot. That's how progress is made. One honest evening at a time. So tonight, before you let the hours slip away, take a few moments to review, to decide, and to shape your next day. That's the secret of turning experience into progress. Here's what actually makes an evening review work. If you want your days to build something lasting, that check-in at night isn't just a good idea, it's essential. That's where real growth gets its start. Think of it like a personal board meeting, just you, your day, and the honest facts. Begin by looking at what actually happened. Not the plan, not the hopes, not the ideas, just the real actions. Take inventory. Next, measure your progress, not your perfection. This part matters. It's easy to get discouraged if you only focus on how far you are from ideal. But perfection keeps moving. You'll never catch it. Progress, though, is real. Then, break it down. What actually worked today? Where did things fall apart? You have to treat this review like a scientist looking at the results of an experiment. You need facts, not drama. Data, not excuses. That's how you coach yourself to real improvement. Now comes the decision. What must change tomorrow? Maybe you need to tweak your strategy. Maybe your schedule needs an overhaul. Sometimes you just need a new approach to an old problem. The real value is in spotting the issue while it's still fresh. If you catch it tonight, you can fix it tomorrow. Ignore it, and it quietly turns into a habit. And habits have a way of sticking around. And don't forget, it's rare for a day to go exactly as planned. Don't wait for everything to be perfect before you feel good about your effort. The real work is in finding the rough spots and smoothing them out, one day at a time. That's how real progress gets made. You can't fix what you won't face, and you can't grow if you pretend everything's just fine when it isn't. Without this kind of honest, consistent evening review, your days start to blend together. You end up living on repeat, making the same mistakes, wondering why progress feels so slow. Life doesn't hand out lessons automatically. You have to collect them on purpose every evening. But if you do the work, if you pause each night and take stock, you stop drifting. You start steering. You build a pattern of growth. The lessons from today become the fuel for tomorrow's improvement. So tonight, before you call it a day, give yourself the time to review, to measure, to be honest, and to decide. That's how you build days that don't just pass by, but days that actually move you forward. And then weeks that move you forward. Months, years, and decades that move you towards the person you intend to be. It's the same pattern. Design your direction in the morning, decide and reflect in the evening. It works the exact same way for your week, your month, your year. That's how you move from living by default to living by design. Not just for a day, but for a decade. Think about it. If you commit to this process for just 7 days, something interesting begins to happen. Your daily patterns start to form a weekly rhythm. Each morning you design, each evening you decide. And after a week, you can look back and actually see what you built. 7 days of real intention will teach you more about yourself than 7 months of just going through the motions. You start to notice your strengths, your gaps, your tendencies. And here's the secret. When you finish 1 week, you don't just stumble into the next. You design it too. What will this week be about? What do you want to see by the end of these 7 days? You adjust and plan based on what the last week revealed, and you get a little sharper each time. That's how habit is built, not just with hope, but with action and reflection. Keep this up for 4 weeks, and now you have a month to look back on. Patterns start to show up. You see which habits stuck, which ones need more attention, and which goals keep landing on your evening reviews, but never quite get finished. That's valuable information. At the start of each month, take the time to ask yourself, what do I want this month to mean? Which short-term goals deserve my attention? Where do I need to break those big ambitions into something I can actually tackle over the next 30 days? This is how you avoid drifting through months, wondering where the time went. It's how you break those big dreams into small, workable pieces. You design, you decide, you adjust, you live. Now just imagine a whole year shaped by this process. At the end of 12 months, you're not just looking at a calendar full of days. You've got a story, a collection of lessons, real progress to show. When a new year rolls around, you don't just write resolutions on a page. You design your year with intention. You decide ahead of time what's worth more of your energy and what you're ready to leave behind. You set a direction not just for what you'll do, but for who you're becoming. And through it all, the principle holds steady. Design before action. Decide after experience. That's how you build consistency that doesn't drain you. That's how you avoid burnout, because you're always learning, always adjusting, never just charging ahead without direction. So wherever you are, at the beginning of a day, a week, a month, or even a new year, remember the cycle scales. It's a process you can trust. It's a rhythm you can rely on. Whether you're building a better day or a better decade, that's how you create a life worth living. One designed morning and one decided evening at a time. So don't wait until Monday morning, overwhelmed and already behind. You sit down ahead of time, maybe on a Sunday evening when the world's a little quieter, and you set your direction. And at the end of the week, you don't just rush into the next one. You decide what the week taught you. You review. You ask, what worked? What did I let slip? Where did I surprise myself? Then, at the end of the month, you don't just turn the calendar page. You decide what patterns have emerged. Are you moving forward? Are you repeating the same struggles? Or are you making breakthroughs? That's how you do it. You design the day with intention. You design the week with intention. You design the month with intention. Ask, where am I heading? Who do I want to become by the time the year is out? What deserves more focus or less? This is where you map out the big changes, the bold moves, and the habits that need to become part of who you are. All the way through, the process stays simple. You design first. You act on what you designed. Then you step back and decide, based on real experience, what worked and what didn't. You review, you track, you adjust. That's how consistency is built without running yourself into the ground. You're always learning, always tightening things up, never just going through the motions. This idea never goes out of style. It works the same way for a day, a week, a month, or a year. The process doesn't change, only the size of what you're applying it to. Life stops happening to you, and you start shaping it instead. Imagine living a year made up of months you designed on purpose, made up of weeks you decided in advance, made up of days that started with intention and ended with honest review. That's how you build a future you're proud of, one small cycle at a time. And it all starts with a single morning, a single evening, repeated with purpose. So I'll leave you with this. Before your head hits the pillow tonight, take a moment. Decide how your day really went. Not just the highlight reel, not what you'd say if someone asked, but the honest truth. Imagine spending the day with someone exactly like you. How would that feel? Would you leave inspired, challenged, encouraged, or a little drained, a little distracted? Give yourself the gift of that honest answer. And then, tomorrow morning, before anything else, design the new you. Take what you learned the night before and turn it into intention. Set your direction, choose your attitude, claim your priorities. Step into the day as the designer, not just the reactor. Every morning is a new chance, a fresh opportunity to build, to create, to move closer to the life you truly want.